Hi, I'm Stephen Lee and welcome to Audio Trends. I came in the store the other week and couldn't believe my eyes because there was a new item from NAD. But what grabbed my attention though was that this new item carried a famous NAD designation from the past. It was a NAD D3020, or so I first thought. Now for those who don't know the NAD lingo, 3020 are hallowed numerals. When we first opened back in December 1978, a great little 20-watt amplifier bearing the designation NAD D3020 was released at the very same time onto the Australian market. I'll tell you what, we were so lucky because that sounded so good. It might have been a bare bones affair, but it marked a complete departure from what was the norm of those days, from the famous brand names were called it. It didn't have the classy looks, and it didn't have a famous household name, but it was solidly built. What was so incredible about the 3020 was that it offered musical truth in its tonal balance, delivered almost a lack of coloration, and an output punch that amazed us all, even in spite that it was just 20 watts or so-called 20 watt per channel specification. Look, music lovers around the world responded in droves, and we sold hundreds of them. In fact, Neil Wilson from NAD was telling me just a few years back that they've sold over 1 million 3020s and its derivatives in about a 10-year period. And look, truly that is an outstanding number for any product in any business, but particularly in the world of hi-fi. Now the 3020 is back, but with a big D prefix for clarification. Compared with the all-analog original 1978 version, the new D3020 is a digital amplifier designed primarily for use with computer USB sources rather than purist hi-fi. And the reason for this is that desktop audio is now very popular, and you're probably looking at this because you're thinking of buying a desktop amplifier. More and more people are storing their music on their computer or listening via the internet by different means, radio, etc., etc. And the D3020 digital amplifier certainly addresses the amplifier department in a very comprehensive manner. I'd like to show you the packaging. Just reach over here. It comes in a very sturdy two-part packaging. So you move the outer cover. Over here on the back we've got some basic description and a little bit of the back panel there. And when we open up the unit, we can see that it's nicely packed, the accessories, power supply, remote controller in here. And here's the unit. I'll just have to put this down a moment. But we can see it's packed in this lovely velvet bag. I hope you can see that there. I hope I've pulled it up enough in height. We pull it out, and there it is. Very different, isn't it, from what you were probably thinking of. We have the control there, and of course on the back the inputs. I'll come back to that in a moment. Nothing will prepare you for just how compact the D3020 is until you get up close and personal. Truly a design for our times, it's small and portable with a vertical form factor that lends it the visual profile of a network router, which you've probably already got. Of course, and if you prefer, it can also be positioned horizontally. Power output is a solid 30 watts per channel, thanks to NAD's ultra-compact Class D topology. True to NAD tradition though, the amp's power rating is deceptive in that it can output bursts up to 100 watts into 4 ohms during dynamic peaks. So that gives you the punch that you want when you're hearing your favourite music. In digital connectivity, it offers Bluetooth music streaming, which is an efficient alternative to Wi-Fi, plus a USB input on the rear panel that plays back computer-based music in up to 24-bit 96 kHz resolution, which is good news for fastidious listeners. Also on the rear panel are a number of other inputs. Left and right RCA analog, plus 2 digital inputs and a composite coaxial, as well as a handy subwoofer output. There is also a 12-volt trigger input for compatible items, and of course heavy-duty binding posts that accept bare wire or banana type plugs. A top panel touch control powers the D3020 on, and the vertical front panel of inputs and volume indicators blinks to life for a few seconds. The graduations of the large volume control are indicated in 20 dB numerical steps, the display fading or intensifying as the user makes changes. I also want to add that the D3020 is portable enough to be drafted into service as a quality headphone amp. You can see the headphone socket right there. Look, we're very impressed with the performance of the D3020. It's pretty serious. But what about speakers? Well, I've got a couple here. First one, been popular for a number of years, is this very high quality, ultra compact Canadian design from Paradigm, the Millennia One. If you can fit those in your space, well, that'd be great. I don't think they come much smaller. If you want something bigger, we've also found the 10.1 from iconic UK brand Wharfedale to be very, very good. Our auditions have found these speakers, both the Paradigms and the Wharfedales, to be full and engaging when connected to the D3020. But depending on how much of a bass freak you are, as well as the location you're putting them in, your office or your den or wherever, you may wish to add a small subwoofer, like one of the ultra compact designs from UK brand Rel. They go very well in desktop audio systems. So that's enough from me, I suppose, and I'd like to just conclude by saying that the NAD D3020 we believe represents the same kind of value-bending innovation that gave the original 3020 its legendary overachieving performance. And look, seriously, we're sure you're going to love it. If you want to know more, then look, please visit our website and you'll see there is a search box and just type in D3020 and you can view more information, more in-depth information. So until next time, happy listening.